The oath beneath the empty sky. The trail to Meir Valley stretched out long and heavy, like a wound that wouldn't heal. 400 Mescalero riders, fellers with eyes hard as flint and hearts blazing like a brushfire, rode without a peep. No songs, no young bucks laughing. The wind tousled their hair like a mama grieving for her lost young'uns. Every hoofbeat on that sacred ground thumped like a drum for a world that had just up and died. The valley met 'em with a silence so cursed it'd chill your bones. The clearing, once humming with young'uns laughing and hearth smoke rising peaceful like, was now nothing but ash and death. The stream, clear as glass afore, ran red with blood, and even the birds had hightailed it out of this forsaken patch of earth. The elders dropped to their knees, heartsick. The young'uns bit their lips till they bled. Old Dewey, the healer leading the pack, covered his face with his hands and muttered a curse through his tears, soft as a prayer but sharp as a blade. Gomez shut his eyes and raised a hand to halt the riders. His voice come out rough, like gravel underfoot. "Ain't no need for talking," says he. "Every soul here feels what's happened. Let's take 'em to the sacred place, where Lightfoot rests too." For 3 days, them 400 Mescalero worked, gathering up the bodies. Some was whole, others just scraps, women still clutching their babes to their chests. Elders hacked down in their sleep. Young fellers with broke spears lying beside 'em. Not a soul had made it, not even the dogs, not even the dreams. They climbed up to the sacred cliffs, where the spirits of the fallen could drift off in peace. There, every body was washed, dressed in whatever scraps could be saved, rubbed with herbs, and laid on platforms of 4 beams, like the old ways said. Dewey and me burned sacred plants, calling out the name of every lost soul. The smoke curled up slow, in wide spirals, like the sky itself was sipping the earth's sorrow. Goyawe knelt by the spot where his mama's body was laid. He had nothing left, 'cept words that burned to be spoke. "I swear to ye," says he, voice trembling like a storm-whipped tree, "your blood won't stay in the dust. The fire won't die. I'll burn with it till every Mexican weapon rusts with our tears." Cigarito laid a hand on his shoulder. "You ain't alone," says he. "We're all Bedonkohe now." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Then a young warrior's voice tore loose. "Their blood's crying for vengeance." Another hollered, "We swear to avenge 'em." "All of 'em," the rest roared, till the mountains caught the sound and flung it back tenfold. It weren't just an oath. It was a reckoning being born. That day, under the empty sky of Meir Valley, the Mescalero village melted into one with grief. Rancho El Cuervo, the beginning of the end. Flashback. Out in the heart of the desert, where the dry spell swallowed every living thing, a passel of Mexican soldiers marched under orders straight from Governor Arminjo himself, led by General Javier Ampudia, a man with a heart cold as a rattler's. They was headed for the hacienda of Don Laureano, an old vaquero, honest as the day is long, who'd never cheated a soul in all his born days. These soldiers weren't coming for no neighborly visit. Everything, horses, water, tools, even the last scrawny cow still chewing slow in the stables, was grabbed up in the name of the Mexican Republic. Joaquin, a sharp-eyed feller, got himself an official post from Ampudia to oversee the new fort they was fixing to build right there. A fort, a base, a checkpoint, rising up in the middle of the wasteland where only cacti stood guard over their lonesome shadows. That's how Rancho El Cuervo come to be. They raised a tall gate, cobbled together from timber the soldiers hacked down and tied with stout ropes. Joaquin had 'em carve the name of the place on a charred plank, Rancho El Cuervo, in big sooty letters that looked like they was written the devil's own ink. Don Laureano's cattle was slaughtered to fill the soldiers' bellies. With the government's war money, meant for fighting them Indian rebels, Joaquin bought fat livestock from Galeana and set to fixing up the ranch with an iron fist. The first workers was 2 German gals, promised fair wages and a roof over their heads. With no other choice, and hearts still heavy with dust and fear, they took the job. But something darker was brewing in the shadows. Right there at Rancho El Cuervo, Ampudia hatched his plan to wipe out the Baden Coe, cold and careful as a snake planning its strike. With 50 riders at his back, he rode for Meir Valley, orders clear as day. No mercy, not a single soul left breathing. What come next was a slaughter, methodical as a butcher's work. Ampudia, eyes squinting with hate and greed, circled the valley and gave the signal. Gunshots cracked. Tents went up in flames. Young'uns screamed. Not one Badon Cohe warrior lived to tell the tale. After the killing was done, Joaquin went from body to body, scalping each one with the steady hand of a hangman. Blood dripping from his fingers, he stuffed dozens of scalps into a hemp sack. He smoked them, tied them with twine, and scratched out a note in ink. For His Excellency, Governor Arminjo, total victory in the desert. Ampudia took that grim parcel and lit out for Santa Fe with 10 riders and a haul of loot. Weapons, trinkets, hides. They dragged poor Don Laureano along, chained up and accused of siding with the Indian rebels. Subteniente Ramos, for his bravery or meanness in Meir Valley, got himself promoted to lieutenant. Sergeant Barrios, bellyful and pride fuller, was handed the honor of escorting the convoy to the capital. 40 soldiers stayed behind under the new Lieutenant Ramos to keep building up Fort Rancho El Cuervo. As the dust settled on the streets of Santa Fe, Governor Arminjo waited for his victorious army, led by Ampudia. Don Esteban was there too, kicking up a fuss about some failed deal to arm the Comanches. But answers didn't come in words no more. They come in a sack stuffed with scalps, in the ashes of the Baden Cohe, and in the echo of curses that'd haunt them mountains for years to come.